put on this computer. Okay, so it is Wednesday. By Wednesday, on Monday, you learned about the topic. On Tuesday, you were asked to decide on a monument. Today is the day to start our research on our national monument. And I'm going to model that for about 5 to 10 minutes, exactly how I would do it. And then I'm going to let you guys go to do your own in breakout rooms. So right now I'm going to share my screen and show you what I would do. If it were me, the first thing that I would do would be open up my Google Doc. If you haven't made one yet, remember you can make it right here, a link at the Writing Mod 12. But I've already made mine, so I'm just going to go to a new thing and open up my drive and get out my Mod 12 writing. The laws, copy, Mod 12 writing. There it is. Laws, copy, Mod 12 writing. You should have copy, Mod 12 writing, and your name, writing by Ms. Laws, you writing by whoever. The monument or memorial in the National Mall in Washington, D.C. I'm writing about is, I'm going to do the Vietnam. Actually, I decided to do the Vietnam Women's Memorial because I really don't know anything about it. Now I'm going to have this tab opened as well so I can go back and forth. And as I look at this, I can see that if I haven't decided yet, I might do one of these others. This is actually a book on Epic on the National Mall. And I could, if I haven't decided yet, I could just go right in. I don't know why it says get started on Epic. I guess I just need to log in. Here we go. Here's my class. Go. I go in as guest. Usually I'm the guest student. My guest student. Yeah, because Epic has a book on the National Mall. So if I don't know what happened to my guest student. It looks like I.
No, because I heard it as Epic.
Oh, well. I don't know why, but I seem to have disappeared. Okay, I'll go in as Dalmir then because I can't find me. Why is it doing this? Welcome back. Sure, I'm reading at school before 3 o'clock. Oh, here it is, National Mall. Now I can start reading it. And if you haven't decided yet, you might want to look through here because it's got a lot of information on a lot of things. Here's information on the Washington Monument, the Lincoln Memorial, the Vietnam Veterans Memorial. Look at all the others: African-American Civil War Memorial, Constitutional Gardens, Ford's Theater, FDR Memorial, Hispanic Heroes, Japanese American Memorial to Patriotism, Korean War Memorial, MLK, Lincoln, the old post office tower, Thomas Jefferson. Wow, that's a lot. I don't see mine in here, so I'm going to quit with Epic, but this is nice to know this book is in Epic. Again, this book is titled National Mall. And it's in Epic if you need a source that's a good source for you. Okay. But I'm going to go back to the assignment and find the one that I want, which is the Women's Vietnam Memorial, and open it up. Now I have my notes taking here. So Vietnam Women's Memorial. Remember, I brainstormed things to write about. And those would be reasons this memorial is important. And that could be people bravely gave their lives. Women's stories are often not told in history because men, right? It could be that it helps us learn about war so we don't have more in the future. I'm not sure what I'm going to write about yet, but all of these could be things that I could take notes on. So one thing about brainstorming is it helps guide like things we might write about. I might write about important people, like important women, people mentioned at the memorial. Okay, so these are going to be, remember that you have to write about a memorial in Washington, D.C. that you think is the most significant or important, right? And you have to tell why it's important or why you think it should be important. So the one I'm writing about is the Vietnam Women's Memorial. I've got that on my form. I've got some brainstormed ideas, and now I'm going to start to take notes as I read. So I'm going back to the document that I just opened up. popular tourist destination, the National Mall is home to several notable monuments and memorials, including the Lincoln, the Washington, World War II, Vietnam vets. Equally important on the symbolic landscape is the Vietnam Women's Memorial, located just north of the reflecting pool. So I can do a couple of things, right? I want to know where it's located. So the Vietnam Women's Memorial is located just north of, actually, both of this is kind of interesting. So all of this is interesting. I'm going to want to share that in my document. It tells where it is. So I'm going to go down here and where is it and what is it exactly? I'm going to want to tell that somewhere. So I'm putting that note in, but because I stole these words, I'm putting them in these, and I'm going to write what they're from. So I'm going to go back here. Oh, sorry, back to the article. And I'm going to look at the top, and it's the National Park Service website. So I'm going to write from the National Park Service website on this material. Now, when I include this, I'm going to actually include where it came from. I can tell it like that, or I can do it a different way. If I want to use
the citation feature.
Yeah, so if I want to use the tools, fancy, I can go to the tools, and I can go from the tools down to, where's Explore? Explore. If I go to Explore, I'm going to be able to explore that topic. So it says search your docs and the web. And then I want to put in Vietnam Women's Memorial. And it's going to pop up in there with some information. And the really cool thing about this is, see, this is the same article I was looking at. That's why it's purple. Now, when I click on it, if I want to click on it, this is a different one. Oh, it looks the same, actually. Now, when I click on it, if I decide to take some information, it includes a sculpture by Texas artist Glenna Goodacre, with 3 women carrying a fallen soldier. 8 yellowwood trees surrounded by the sculpture honor the 8 servicewomen who gave their lives in Vietnam. That's cool. Okay, now I'm going to do Control Copy, and I'm going to go put that in my document. Watch what happens this time I do it. Oops, don't do that. So here I got to click on my documents. I'm on there. Now I'm going to include this information, but I'm also going to go over here to where I got it from and click this little quotation. And that's going to tell me where it came from. So it just automatically said this information came from here. Now that's a tricky thing that you might need to do, but this does a nice job of citing it. And then when I include it in my story later on, I'll have that information. I also want to put it in quotation marks just to show where I got it, that those are not my words, right? Sometimes you should even highlight it just so you remember what are your words and what are not, and put them into well, let's see here. This one is not my words from here. Put them in italics, and that just kind of helps show that those aren't your words. All right. So a few things that I'm going to do right now. I'm just kind of reading the article and taking out some information. It didn't have much more information here. So let me see if this one does. So I kind of want to know, who are these 8 women, 8 service women who gave their lives in Vietnam? So one thing I can do is I can highlight that, copy it, go to a new tab, paste it in. Who are the 8 service women who gave their lives in Vietnam? Oh, the American military women who lost their lives in Vietnam. Wow, 8 women's names are among the thousands on the Vietnam Memorial Wall. Here's what we know about them. And this is going to tell me all about these 8 brave women. Here are their names. So I'm going to want to take lots of notes from this one. This one's much longer, right? And I'm going to probably want to read the whole thing. Look at all that. And then I might want to go see YouTube Vietnam Women's Memorial, because I'll bet you it will take me there and I can see it. Oh, look, why the Vietnam Women's Memorial is meaningful. Wow, that's going to like write my essay for me, isn't it? So this time I'm going to want to listen. And as I listen, I'm going to want to stop it and transfer some information. let's watch for a minute and I'll show you what I mean. Oh, I'm going to pause it. 265,000 women served during Vietnam. Wow, I didn't know that. This one I can't copy, so I'm going to have to write it down. So 265,000. So I'm going to go back to this and I'm going to talk about it. Did you know, and I might even write in full sentences, according to a video about the Vietnam Women's Memorial, 265,000 women served in Vietnam during the war. There you go. I'm going to include that as long as I mention where I got the information according to a video about the Vietnam Women's Memorial. I don't have to tell like the name of the video, but I can if I want to. Like I could go back and look at the name of it. This is called Why the Vietnam Women's Memorial is Meaningful. I'll probably copy that or copy this and take the URL and put that on my page at the bottom. So I would go down here and I would just go down and put the URL and write Why the Vietnam Women's Memorial is Meaningful video. So I'll list the video. Okay. So as you do research on your topic, you're writing down where the research is coming from. You're putting some of it into your own words. You're paraphrasing. Others, you're copying exactly, but you're making sure to put it in quotation marks and make sure that you cite and tell where it came from. So today you are starting your research on your memorial. You need to have chosen your memorial and you need to be starting your research, looking at videos, typing in questions and answering things about your topic. If you need help getting started, I'm happy to help you. Again, in the chat, I'm going to put the steps that I want you to do right now. Step 1, choose a topic. Step 2, open a doc. Step 3, start researching and take notes on your doc. Step 4, be sure to write down where your info comes from, either by paraphrasing it in your own words or quoting directly and putting their words in quotes, right? And telling where you got them. It's not a bad thing to use other people's words because let's face it, you're a 10-year-old kid and somebody's probably going to believe an expert on the Vietnam War more than you. So it's okay to say according to experts or according to an article or according to a video and tell people that you've done some research. But let's get started. Remember, you have a month, but this is your big week to do your research. If you do not have a topic yet, stay with me. Otherwise, I'm going to open the breakout rooms. I'm going to assign each of you to your own room. If you are working with a partner, tell me now and I'll put you in with your partner.